In today's world, having many friends is often seen as a sign of success, happiness, and social value. Social media constantly shows people surrounded by crowds, laughing, traveling, and celebrating together. Because of this, people who don't have friends are often misunderstood, judged, or even pitied. Society quickly labels them as lonely, awkward, or antisocial. But what if this assumption is completely wrong? What if not having friends isn't a weakness, but a reflection of a different kind of personality? This video explores a powerful and often ignored truth. People who don't have many friends often share certain personality traits that are not negative, but misunderstood. These traits are not flaws. They are signs of depth, awareness, and inner strength. Many highly intelligent, emotionally mature, and self-aware individuals naturally walk alone, not because they can't connect, but because they choose quality over quantity. Friendship today is often built on convenience, validation, and entertainment. Many social relationships survive on gossip, shared habits, or emotional dependency. But some people simply don't resonate with surface-level connections. They crave meaning, authenticity, and honesty. When they don't find it, they prefer solitude over fake companionship. Being alone does not always mean being lonely. In fact, many people who spend time alone have a rich inner world. They observe more, think deeper, and question things others accept blindly. They are not afraid of silence. They are not desperate for attention. They don't feel the need to impress others just to fit in. This naturally makes them different, and difference often leads to isolation. Throughout this series, we will explore 5 powerful personality traits commonly found in people who don't have many friends. Each trait will help you understand why some individuals walk a lonely path, not because they are broken, but because they are built differently. If you've ever felt disconnected from people, if you've ever preferred being alone rather than surrounded by shallow conversations, if you've ever felt like you don't belong, no matter how hard you try, then this video is for you. By the end of this series, you may realize that your loneliness is not a curse. It may actually be a sign of emotional intelligence, personal growth, and inner clarity. Let's begin with the first and most misunderstood trait. The first personality trait, commonly shared by people who don't have many friends, is deep thinking. These individuals are not interested in shallow conversations or meaningless social interactions. Small talk drains them. Gossip bores them. Repetitive discussions feel exhausting rather than entertaining. Deep thinkers observe life differently. They constantly analyze situations, behaviors, emotions, and patterns. Their minds are always active, searching for meaning, truth, and understanding. While others talk about trends, celebrities, or daily drama, deep thinkers want to discuss ideas, psychology, philosophy, purpose, and life itself. This difference creates a natural gap. Most social environments are designed for comfort, not depth. When a deep thinker enters such spaces, they often feel out of place. Their thoughts may seem too intense or too serious to others. As a result, they are often misunderstood as quiet, distant, or arrogant when in reality, they simply think on a different frequency. Because of this, deep thinkers struggle to form casual friendships. They don't enjoy pretending. They don't want to fake laughter or force interest. They would rather stay silent than participate in conversations that feel empty. This doesn't mean they dislike people. It means they value mental connection over social noise. Deep thinkers are also highly self-reflective. They question their own actions, beliefs, and emotions. This self-awareness often makes them emotionally mature, but it also makes them selective. They don't allow everyone access to their inner world. Trust is earned, not given. Unfortunately, this selectiveness often leads to isolation. But here's the truth. Deep thinkers are not meant for crowds. They are meant for meaningful connections. They may have fewer friends, but the bonds they form when they do are deep, loyal, and lasting. Being alone gives them space to think, grow, and evolve. While the world rushes, they pause. While others follow, they question. While many seek attention, they seek understanding. And that is why deep thinkers often walk alone, not because they are lonely, but because they are mentally rich. The second trait shared by people who don't have many friends is strong emotional boundaries. Most people form friendships based on emotional dependency. They rely on others for validation, comfort, approval, and identity. But individuals with strong boundaries don't operate this way. They don't allow easy emotional access to everyone. They protect their energy, time, and mental peace. They know that not everyone deserves access to their emotions. These individuals are highly aware of how people can drain energy, manipulate feelings, or create unnecessary drama. Because of this awareness, they choose distance over chaos. They would rather be alone than emotionally exhausted. Strong boundaries often make people uncomfortable. Why? Because emotionally independent individuals cannot be easily controlled, used, or influenced. They don't chase approval. They don't tolerate disrespect. They don't stay in relationships that cost them their peace. As a result, many people interpret their boundaries as coldness or arrogance. But in reality, it's self-respect. People with strong boundaries take time to trust. They observe actions more than words. They don't overshare. They don't rush intimacy. This slow and careful approach naturally limits the number of people who can stay in their life. And that's intentional. They understand that emotional safety is more important than social popularity. This trait often develops after emotional pain, betrayal, or deep self-growth. Once someone learns the cost of letting the wrong people too close, they become careful about who they allow into their inner circle. Strong boundaries may reduce the number of friends, but they increase peace, clarity, and self-worth. And for these individuals, peace is non-negotiable. The third personality trait is high self-awareness combined with authenticity. People who lack friends often know exactly who they are and who they are not. They are not interested in pretending, performing, or changing themselves just to fit in. They value authenticity over acceptance. They refuse to wear masks. In a world where many people shape their personalities to please others, authentic individuals stand out, and not always in a good way. Their honesty can feel uncomfortable. Their independence can feel threatening. Their refusal to conform can feel isolating. But they accept that cost. Highly self-aware individuals understand their strengths, weaknesses, triggers, and values. They don't need constant reassurance. They don't seek external validation to feel worthy. Their confidence comes from self-knowledge, not applause. This often creates distance. Why? Because many friendships survive on mutual insecurity and emotional dependency. When someone is emotionally stable and self-sufficient, they don't need others, and that makes people feel unnecessary. Authentic individuals don't laugh at jokes they don't find funny. They don't agree just to avoid conflict. They don't tolerate disrespect just to stay included. As a result, they may lose people, but they never lose themselves. And that is a power very few possess. The fourth trait is high emotional intelligence. People with high emotional intelligence quickly sense fake intentions, emotional manipulation, and hidden agendas. They read between the lines, they notice energy shifts, they feel what others try to hide. This awareness protects them, but it also isolates them. They cannot tolerate fake kindness or forced bonds. Once they sense dishonesty, they emotionally detach. This makes long-term friendships rare, but genuine. The fifth and final trait is constant personal evolution. These individuals are always growing. Their mindset changes. Their priorities shift. Their values evolve. As they grow, they naturally outgrow people who remain emotionally stagnant. Growth creates distance. And not everyone is willing to grow with you. People who evolve often walk alone, not because they are abandoned, but because they refuse to stay small for others. Final message: if you don't have many friends, don't assume something is wrong with you. You may simply be too deep, too aware, too honest, too evolved, too emotionally intelligent, and the world is not built for people like you. But remember this: loneliness with self-respect is better than connection without authenticity.